So, okay, what's good? First, we gotta talk about Millia's changes. So today, I basically want to give you like a in-depth look at what they actually changed about this character. I put Millia also on the screen, which is probably a mistake considering the first change, but she got half buffs, half changes. So I'm gonna go through each change and show you like an example of like why it matters, like what it actually does. So I need to switch characters because the first one we need Geo for the first one. So the first one is her crouching P. They said reduced attack startup is 4 frames for sure. This opens a ton of stuff. So a lot of punishes that were not there before are now available. A really easy example is with Geo. Okay, once upon a time you could not punish this. Now, easy punish. That's probably the main thing. There's a bunch of situations where it's a much better move to pick as a mash specifically. I think they just want you to use the move a little bit more. It's not very commonly used. And most of the time where people mash, they pick to use 2K because 2K leads into a win condition. So them making it 4 frames gives you more punishes that you didn't used to have and gives you a reason to use it on defense because it is still a repeating theme that they want you to use moves that you don't use, basically. Okay. Then we have the next one, which we will require this. So our 2K is smaller than it used to be and has less knockback. So the less knockback one would be like here. So essentially it was very uncommon, but there was a spacing where the 2K would not reach. I'm sorry, the 2D would not reach, but now both reach. And then the other thing is you can go under way more things now with this move. So you get to think about a couple of things on defense that you did not think about before. Into a whole punish, a whole bombo on that. So close slash is plus on block now. It's +1 on block. This works really well in combination with 2P because 2P is faster. And as you see, I'm using a system change of it having a counter hit. So you can get this, or you can get this. It's pretty nice. It makes them respect you a little bit more. Before, close slash was -2, and it was not hard, but not easy to establish your offense on this. But now it is much easier because you're plus. You're not like super plus, but you have one very don't mash tool, and then because of that, it opens up all sorts of stuff. So this one is really, really nice. The other thing they did to this move is that it has a launcher. So Geo has the same thing. This is like the in-game launch. So that's what they mean now. It affects your combos for sure. I'm still getting used to it myself, but that's just what that means. I think from now on, when they say they change the on-hit effect of the second hit, they should just say it's a launcher, but hey. Okay, Far Slash. This move is fucking OD, bro. This move, it might be better. It might be like the best version of this move ever, I think. It might be better than, I think the only one you could say is better maybe is ACR, because it's jump cancelable. It's jump cancelable, which means you can do like jump cancel pin into stuff. Like this move is bigger for sure. I think it's probably like 9. I don't think it's 8. I think it's 9 frames now instead of 10. So it's already really fast. And they made it bigger than before. It is quite huge. This is such a huge amazing change. If you had a good ground game with her, you are eating. If you don't have a good ground game with her, you should work on it because this move is really juiced. So this one's a little bit hard to show. I could pull up the hitbox sometime in editing or something, but this move, the second part of it is disjoint, which is really nice. You could use this against people who are using a lot of jabs, a lot of 2Ps, and if their backs to the corner, you can do one of these to control space a little bit and discourage them. I'm trying to find some more uses for this. I was already using it a little bit last patch, but now with a new hitbox, I mean specifically, I guess it's not a new hitbox. It's just they reduced the hurtbox is what they said. There should be some more uses for this, so I'm looking forward to that. Then the next two changes are changes they made to everybody, but we can visualize them a little bit anyway. So yeah, these jump P and jump K changes they made to everybody. It's P's launch up and they don't hit out as far, and then K launches up. So you just notice how they're like a little bit closer than normal. Okay, you can see that there. The JS is disjoint now. This is woke. This makes it a little better for falling, and also it makes it much better for air versus air as well. It'll be not very common that you get hit by stuff. Yeah, but here you see my JK. Oh, I gotta get back to the clash. I gotta get the clash back. No, bruh, I just had this. There it is. So that's JK. That's a JS. Trivial JS. Trivial JS. JD also has a small disjoint on it now. This move you don't get to use too much. The main time I use it, I'll actually show you the main use I have for that move. Because of the hitbox change though, I definitely want to look into using it more, but I'd have to review like what are the rules of like when can you act after you whiff it, because the move does have a really long total duration. It's probably the highest Zato can go. So that's the main time I use it, is when characters are floating at the top of the screen. You can use it against like Faust too. They nerfed her throw, but it's not really a nerf. Her throw has more recovery, but it's we'll talk about this one more later. But H disc has less recovery. Actually, both discs have less recovery. So I felt like the throw change is to compensate, because if not, she would have some pretty nonsense throw Oki. Throw Oki has been some of the hardest things to figure out for her in Stride, basically, compared to previous versions. Then you have Bad Moon. So Bad Moon, the old one would send them like flying and they roll a little bit. This one, they just kind of pop up. This is nice for a couple things. So one thing that's really nice for is that if they have any type of slowdown applied on them, which I cannot do, it makes it way easy. That used to be really hard to do. Now it's really easy, and then you could do it mid-screen as well. Another thing that's nice is you just have more frame advantage overall compared to before, which is pretty nice. And then you have a kind of uncommon, I think he's mashing. Yeah. So this is a pinch uncommon, and I want to find more ways to use it, but no, I'm still bugging. Maybe from this. Yeah, maybe from this. Oh, maybe it's character specific. Okay, this is not for this video then. Okay, this might be character specific. We gotta keep looking. So I will mention that. But those are the two main good things, which are really nice about it. It's nice that basically you get to use Bad Moon a lot more mid-screen, because before it was essentially not possible / really hard to take advantage of the advantage you did have in the previous version. Now it's much easier, and you have more, which is nice. You have Turbofall. So Turbofall has less recovery than it used to. I don't actually know what the old number was, but apparently it's 9 frames recovery right now. This opens up, I think, some conversions that were not there before, but I need to investigate a little bit more, and some. Wait, so I said some conversions and some mix-ups. My bad, and some mix-ups that were not available before. I think, emphasis on I think, but the first one is for sure. Then you have the discs, like I mentioned. So S disc and H disc. So S disc, I'm actually not So they said they increased the knockback, but it feels like it just hits it differently. It doesn't feel like it's actually more. It's really hard to word how I would put this, what S disc is. It also feels like it's safer on block than it used to be. But this, I gotta just look more into it. You know, it's kind of soon after the patch. The one that is much easier to talk about is H disc. So let's get Millia on both sides, because H disc is reduced recovery, right? So same speed, reduced recovery, and both of them, they don't go away when Millia blocks attacks. So H disc, already there's been a few things that I've noticed about it from experimenting and playing. So one thing is, it is much more uncommon for the old auto guard thing to happen. So if you're aware from last version, at that spacing, that disc would be auto guarded, where now I have seen the disc get auto guarded, but I have only seen it happen like once in the past like 4 days, where it's like a mildly regular thing in the previous version. That's really good thing number one. Really good thing number two, since it's faster, you can't, well, my bad, since it doesn't go away, that's what I would say. Since it doesn't go away, you could use it a little bit more like a mine and hide under it a little bit more, which is kind of nice, because before, this move was really hard to use in neutral, right? Thing number three that's really big, because it's faster, there are times where, I guess the way I would set it up would be like, there were times where last version, let's say you decided to do like this, for like guess for game. Oh, whoops, let me try again. Bruh. Your boy don't have hands, slash my hands are sweaty. There you go. So now after Septum, you always get Meaty Disc, and I basically think you will get it at any range too. Like, I don't know how to replicate it, but I got one that was like super far, like dummy far away, like, and I was still able to get there and have it clearly be a meaty, which is a really nice thing. There's probably a couple of other things, but I didn't write everything down, so it's just a lot easier to use and it's a lot stronger. But one thing that I think does matter, and it's going to matter in the long run, is because of the H disc, depending on how you do mix up, you might have to adjust your mix up. That's the only thing, because it's faster, so things don't line up the way they used to. Just keep that in mind. Cool. Then you have hair car. So hair car just doesn't knock away as fast or as far. This has a bunch of just like implied meaning. So like, for example, like let's say you choose to do like one of these. Like in the previous version, she would probably be an additional 2 or 3 character lengths away. Now she's just right in front of you. There are a lot of times where like they're just a lot closer, so it just makes it easier to follow up with stuff, especially if they land on the hair car instead of in front. So that's pretty good. Apparently the move is bigger too, but the move was already disjointed, so I don't think this one is such a huge deal. But maybe it might matter later. Lust Shaker change. So Lust Shaker change, they said this was a bug, but I thought they did this on purpose. So since the game came out, but not anymore. So she has a level 1, level 2, and level 3 Lust Shaker, right? So here's level 1, here's level 2, and here's level 3. Okay. So if you didn't mash and you pressed S 3 times, she would do a level 3 Lust Shaker where the last hit didn't knock them away. But now you can't do that anymore. Whoops. Oh, my time's up. Man, I'm bad at this. Yeah, there's just no way to make it only come out. Sorry, there's no way to make a last hit not knock him away anymore. Now it just always does it. I thought they did that on purpose, but I guess it was a bug. Because the thing was, you can control it too. It wasn't random. You can control it. You could hit it 3 times and have it not knock away. or hit it 4 times and make it knock away. But I guess they didn't want it to be like that, so okay. And then we have Kapple. So this move, depending on who you're talking to, you might have heard this move is amazing right now, or this move is obnoxious right now. So they changed a few things about it, but the main thing, there's 2 big changes, and then there's 2 slightly, or there's 5 changes to the move. I should feel like 5 changes. 2 are really big, 3 are like subtle, right? So the one that's really the biggest is that it has less recovery. So it's 3 frames less recovery than before, to my knowledge. So this means that you get to do lower to the ground Kapples with follow-ups. But then you have to remember too, they buffed her P and K, so you can use P and K to follow up if you don't think JS will come out, which is really nice. Then the other one that's really big is that the hitbox is bigger, so there's less of a chance of that happening. So in the previous version, that happened all the time. Now it's much more likely that they'll go to you, and most of the time that should happen. Every now and then they get sent full screen the other way, but usually the first or second one would happen. That's cool. The other 3 is that it's a projectile now, not a strike, so 6 Ps won't clash with it. It's affected by momentum. This I'm still looking into to see how important it is, and it does more damage. Okay, the it does more damage thing mostly matters because you can combo out of it now, like straight up on a grounded opponent. This used to be like close, like I want to say like 28 or 30 damage. I mean, I'm on Millia though. But the increased damage is kind of nice because like she's getting a combo off this anyway, so that thing is pretty good. And then the last change is to Winger. It's just not 7 frames anymore. And when you block the move in the air, they land faster than before. So if she is, let's say we have her jumping, and then okay, so just shoot on the top rope. Yep, lots of recovery. The move already had a ton of recovery, so I don't know why they added even more, but hey, this was already a use this once a month type of super as a reversal, so hey. Hey, who cares, right? But yeah, that's the gist of it. So the things that I would say are like straight up buffs are like 2P being faster, 2K, close slash, far slash, 5H. P and K are buffs, but this is something they gave to everybody. JS also a buff, JD a buff. Ground throw is a nerf, but just to keep it the same. Bad Moon, a buff. Once Turbo Fall is a change. I mean, it's a buff, but I look at it as a change because we don't know all the stuff it's gonna affect yet, per se. These are buffed for sure. This is buffed. This move is changed. This move is buffed, and Winger is nerfed.